S4C is a Welsh-language public service television channel based in Cardiff and broadcast throughout Wales. The first television channel to be aimed specifically at a Welsh-speaking audience. S4C is the fifth oldest television channel in the United Kingdom. Its chief executive since April 2012 is Ian Jones. When first established, the channel, initially broadcast on analog television, was bilingual outside peak hours, with English-language content consisting of the simultaneous or deferred transmission of programs from Channel 4. When digital television arrived several years later, S4C added a second, 100% Welsh-language service, called S4C Digital, with the completion of the digital switchover in Wales on 31 March 2010, which made English-language Channel 4 available across Wales. S4C's bilingual, analog channel closed, and what had been S4C Digital became the default S4CE channel, available on Freeview, satellite and cable, and broadcasting entirely in Welsh. S4C does not commission programming in English, but when English is used on the channel it is left untranslated. A high-definition service called S4C Llyn, simulcasting S4C's main channel, began transmission on 30 April 2010 on Freeview Channel 53 in Wales. However, it was announced on the 11th of July 2012 that, as part of cost-saving measures designed to deal with the impact of cuts to S4C's public funding, the Llyn channel would close before the end of the year. Channel 4 HD began broadcasting in Wales from the 2nd of December 2012 in its place. Prehistory. Before the launch of S4C, Welsh speakers had been served by occasional programs in Welsh. Broadcasters' regional opt-outs on BBC Wales and HTV Cymru Wales, usually at off-peak or inconvenient times. This was unsatisfactory for Welsh speakers, who saw the arrangement as a sop, and also an annoyance for non-Welsh speakers, who found the English programmes seen in the rest of the UK often rescheduled or not transmitted at all. In 1962, the ITV network had created a licence area for North and West Wales, which was awarded to Wales Limited. This traded as Teledu Cymru and provided significant levels of Welsh-language programming. However, problems with transmission infrastructure and poor market research led to financial difficulties within 2 years, and the station was taken over by its neighbour Television Wales and West. Both the Conservative and Labour parties promised a Welsh-language fourth channel, if elected to government in the 1979 general election. Shortly after the Conservatives won a majority in the election, the new Home Secretary William Whitelaw decided against a Welsh fourth channel, and suggested that, except for an occasional opt-out, the service should be the same as that offered in the rest of the UK. This led to acts of civil disobedience, including refusals to pay the television licence fee, thereby running the risk of prosecution or even a prison sentence, and sit-ins in BBC and HTV studios. Some took more extreme measures, including attacking television transmitters in Welsh-speaking areas. In 1980, the former president of Plaid Cymru, Gwynfor Evans, threatened to go on hunger strike if the Conservative government of Margaret Thatcher didn't honour its commitment to provide a Welsh-language TV service. The channel started broadcasting on 1 November 1982, the night before Channel 4's opening. S4C appointed its first female CEO, Iona Jones, in 2005. Programming. S4C's remit is to provide a service which features a wide range of programs in the Welsh language. Like Channel 4, S4C does not produce programs of its own. Instead, it commissions programs from BBC Cymru Wales and independent producers. And it has particularly developed a reputation for commissioning animation, such as Super Ted, Sam Tan, Gogs and Shakespeare. The animated tales BBC Wales fulfills its public service requirement by producing programmes in Welsh, including Newyddion, S4C's news bulletin, and a soap opera, Pobl Wycombe, and providing them to S4C free of charge. It has also provided Welsh-language versions of English-language programmes, e.g., The Tweenies, on the analogue service. S4C showed programmes produced for Channel 4 in the rest of the United Kingdom, either simultaneously or time-shifted, outside of peak hours. These programmes were provided to S4C by Channel 4, free of charge. To make content more accessible to English speakers, all Welsh-language programming carries English subtitles. Originally these were on teletext page 888, with Welsh subtitles on page 889, with both subtitle languages now also available on digital television platforms. For speakers of English who are learning Welsh, certain programs, particularly children's programs Plain Plant Bach and Plain Plant, carry subtitles featuring Welsh subtitles with additional English translations in brackets next to more difficult Welsh-language words. TV films produced for S4C have received some good foreign reviews. ʻpʰɛdwar was nominated for the Best Foreign Language Oscar in 1993 and Solomon Ganor was nominated in 1999. The S4C analog signal also spilled over onto the east coast of the Republic of Ireland. In the past it was rebroadcast in a number of areas there on UHF terrestrial signals by so-called deflectors. However, Channel 4 is now retransmitted from satellite by the few remaining deflectors. Up until the 1990s, S4C was also carried by some Irish cable and MMDS providers before being replaced by Channel 4. Up until 2009, S4C ran its own teletext service, Sebectel, digital channels. Following the switch-off of analog terrestrial signals on 31 March 2010, Wales became the first fully digital region in the UK, with both S4C and Channel 4 now available to all homes. As a result, S4C now broadcasts solely in the Welsh language and, as well as on Freeview in Wales, is available throughout Britain, Ireland and the rest of Western Europe on Freesat and Sky. A review commissioned by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport in 2004 suggested that S4C should operate a single core service after digital switchover. In addition, S4C also operated a sister channel, S4C2, until 2010. It formerly broadcast coverage of the National Assembly for Wales when in session. The programme content was provided by the BBC who, from January 2010, now make it available online and via BBC Parliament. Like the main channel, S4C2 was available within Wales on Freeview and throughout the UK and Ireland on Freesat and Sky. S4C2 had two audio feeds, allowing viewers to select between an untranslated version and an English-only version where all Welsh spoken is translated into English. Delayed coverage of Assembly proceedings is now broadcast overnight on S4C's main channel on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursday. In addition to the analog TV signal transmitted throughout Wales, S4C, along with United News and Media, owned the company S4C Digital Networks. SDN was awarded the UK-wide contract to provide half a digital multiplex worth of programming. The other half continues to belong to the broadcaster Channel 5. On 27 April 2005, S4C sold its share of SDN to ITV plc for approximately £34 million, though it still has the half multiplexes of right in Wales. ITV already owned some of SDN due to the consolidation of the ITV industry. Granada bought UNM's stake in SDN, and this was then incorporated into the United ITV plc. In January 2007, S4C announced plans to launch a Welsh-language children's service. The new service, in the form of a programming block, launched on 23 June 2008. Under the name of CYW, it brings together a wide range of programs for nursery-age children, and S4C plans eventually to extend the service to include the STWNSH strand for older children and a third service for teenagers and young people. The service currently airs on weekdays from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on S4C. S4C launched a high-definition simulcast of S4C called ʻpʰɛdwar on the 19th of July 2010 to coincide with terrestrial digital switchover in Wales. ʻpʰɛdwar was broadcast on Freeview Channel 53 only, and not via other platforms. However, following funding cuts and a review of core services, it was announced on the 11th of July 2012 that ʻpʰɛdwar would close before the end of the year. ʻpʰɛdwar closed at midnight on the evening of the 1st of December 2012, with Channel 4 HD taking over its transmission capacity with effect from the next day, the 2nd of December 2012. In December 2014, S4C became available on the BBC iPlayer website, both live and on demand, as part of her 18-month trial. Presentation. 1982 to 1988, S4C's on-air appearance has always been a representation of the Welsh society and people, but this representation has changed several times. Initial idents featured clips from the natural landscapes of Wales with a basic logo animation and fanfare, with the logo forming as WALES4CYMRU. 1988 to 1993. In 1988, the ident changed to a computer-generated ident featuring an animation of the streamlined S4C logo. The colors of the logo were blue, green and red, and the font was Bodoni. In 1990, the new ident was introduced in S4C, depicting a piece of Welsh slate with colour blue, green and red washing over the letters S4C. This ident was used in S4C Clash or ʻpʰɛdwar in 1991 until 1993. 1993 to 2007. In September 1993, S4C introduced a new series of idents, which depicted inanimate objects as having characteristics of dragons, as a reference to the red dragon on the flag of Wales. S4C's logo was also refreshed in 1995, now using a red Futura typeface, and a tilde representing a dragon. Regular idents included entertainment, flags, kite, gas pump dragon, dragon man, scissors, tongs, clockwork dragon, sousaphone, standpipe, extinguisher, iron, pencil, pedal bin, fan, curly light, screen, spray can, tiled carousel dragon, stapler, mouse, shower, vacuum cleaner, garlic crusher, magic hat, lawnmower, Sunday drama night, loudspeaker, egg cup and aquarion. Sport. Special idents included Christmas idents, preview screen, St. David's Day idents, Rugby World Cup 2003, Mauer 2004, Kofio 60, Eisteddfod 2006 and Big Brother 7 final. The Dragon idents were withdrawn in the end of 2006. In the 1st of January 2007 until January 16, temporary idents were used, which gave a nod towards what was to come for the new presentation on the station. It was called A New Direction. The 1995 S4C logo was withdrawn in the 17th of January 2007. 2007 to 2014. In January 2007, S4C announced that their digital channels would be refreshed with a new corporate logo and brand. The new branding was implemented online on the 17th of January, with S4C's television channels adopting it the next day. The new branding, developed by the London-based firm Proud Creative, was intended to portray S4C as a more contemporary, multi-platform broadcaster, and downplayed traditional Welsh imagery such as dragons. Its idents were filmed around various parts of the country, and themed around magnetism, representing the uncontrollable attraction of Welsh people and their emotional affinity to the homeland. Whether near or far, the magnetism-themed idents were later replaced by a new set developed in collaboration with the agency Mini Vegas. consisting of live-action scenes with dynamic, animated elements that can react to the voice of the continuity announcer. 2014 present-day new S4C logo and brand developed by Sugar Creative Studio was introduced in early 2014. The new design was developed around a concept of providing context to S4C's target audience and programming. The design revolves heavily around a trapezoidal shape used within the channel's new logo, which is prominently used within aspects of the channel's overall marketing and branding. According to S4C's annual report, 8.4 million people viewed the channel throughout the UK during 2014-2015, with 605,000 viewers throughout the UK in an average week. Criticisms. S4C has faced criticism for poor viewing figures since its launch. Leaked internal reports in March 2010 showed that, over the 20-day period from February 15 to last Saturday, March 6, as many as 196 of the 890 programs put out by S4C were rated as having 0 viewers. The story was widely reported across the UK and referenced in Parliament by the then Culture Secretary Jeremy Hunt. In response, an S4C spokesperson stated that 90% of the programs were aimed at preschool children, and that BARB only takes into account viewers aged 4 years and over. On 28 July 2010, S4C's chief executive Iona Jones left her post without explanation. Assembly members and members of Parliament requested an independent investigation into the circumstances leading up to her departure. The S4C authority refused to comment further and commissioned a review into how the broadcaster was governed in August 2010. On 3 February 2011, it was announced that issues between Iona Jones and S4C had been settled. On the 11th of February 2011, the Shortridge report on corporate governance was made public. Low viewing figures. When compared with Irish-language channel TG4, S4C compares badly. In 2013-2014, S4C only had 286 programs with, only 54 programs with. TG4 had 1,102 programs with, and 619 with. Funding and other minority broadcasters. S4C operates only one channel and no radio stations. Its exchequer funding has been cut to £80 million as well as the £30 million it receives from the BBC. This comes to £110 million. This is more than the Basque-language broadcaster EITB receives to fund its 6 TV channels and 5 radio stations. 1 Ethiopian Bur General TV channel in Basque language. 2 Ethiopian Bur's General channel in Spanish language. 3 Ethiopian Bur's Children's channel in Basque language. 4 Ethiopian Bur's General TV channel in Basque language. ETB Sat, international channel aimed at the rest of Spain, France and Europe, both in Basque and Spanish languages. Canal Vasco, international channel aimed at Latin America, both in Basque and Spanish language. Funding and regulation. S4C is financed from its advertising revenue and a fixed annual grant from the UK Department for Culture, Media and Sport, receiving £90 million of funding in 2011. Additionally, some Welsh-language programming is produced by BBC Wales as part of the BBC's public service remit, and provided to S4C free of charge. S4C is controlled by the S4C Authority, an independent body unconnected to Ofcom, the regulator of other UK television channels such as ITV and Channel 4. From 2013, responsibility for funding S4C will begin to transfer to the BBC, with the DCMS reducing its funding by 94% by 2015. The BBC will provide around £76 million of funding to S4C by this date, resulting in a cut of around 25% to S4C's annual budget. This decision has been challenged by Symdydda's Ieiriaeth Gymraeg, which wants the proposed transfer of responsibility for funding S4C from DCMS to the BBC to be stopped. CLIC. CLIC is a free online video-on-demand service provided by S4C. CLIC offers a live streaming, signed programming, a 35-day catch-up service and archived programming. CLIC is available across the UK but also contains a limited selection of worldwide programming. Click's catch-up service is split into 7 categories: drama, entertainment, factual and arts, music, sport, and 2 children's categories, CYW and STWNSH. A CLIC app was released for Apple's iOS devices on the 18th of August 2011.